Alice, we need to talk.
What can I help you, Mom?
Your father and I are going to be moving tomorrow.
Hold on. Where did this come from? This isn't something you just drop on someone out of nowhere.
That's why I'm telling you now we are moving tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, you are going to be living alone.
Mom, I don't think I quite understand everything that's going on here. Where are you moving to?
We're moving to Maya's house. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be living with her.
What? You're abandoning me out of nowhere and decide to move in with my big sister. But is Maya's house actually an apartment, isn't it? And she is paying rent for it monthly, right? How are you planning on living there? Your moving there just causes trouble with her lease.
You really are stupid.
Excuse me.
Of course, we aren't planning to live in her apartment. There's no way we'd do something like that.
Then where do you all intend to live? I still find this all incredibly hard to believe, Mom.
We're going to be living in a new house. I'm talking about a new house that Maya's family built a new house.
Maya and her family built a house?
Yes, that's right. The house is a duplex. And they built it for your father and me.
I see, Mom. That's good to hear, but why am I only hearing about this now? I haven't heard a thing from Maya about having built a new house nor about any moving plan.
What? Why do you think we had to talk to you about it? It's not like we need your permission to do anything. Well, it would have actually been a problem if we had talked to you about it earlier.
What do you mean by that?
If I had talked to you before, you would have just done everything you could to tag along with us. You would have tried to shamelessly guilt-trip us into bringing you along. That's what Maya was worrying about.
What are you talking about? Why on earth would I want to go along with you? What makes you think I would be?
Come on, Alice. Look at you. You're already 28 and you're still single and living with your parents. Meanwhile, Maya's husband is a very successful business manager and a super rich. It's not strange at all to think that you'd want to take advantage of their money.
I have no idea how you could have come to such a ridiculous conclusion. You know how much I've hated Maya? She's always bullying me and rubbing her every little success in my face. Do you think I would just forget about all of that and want to move into her house? That would be the furthest thing from my mind. I'm nowhere near that desperate.
Don't be rude, Alice. It was just a reasonable guess like I said earlier. This is what Maya was worried about. She was thinking that maybe you'd try to barge in on her life and ruin her family's happy life in her new home. If things ended up like that, it would mean serious trouble for me too.
Mom, that response certainly doesn't surprise me in the slightest. This is how you've always been, always thinking of Maya over me. What makes you think I would ever want to come along and continue living with uncaring parents like you? Not only that. You told me some time ago that living alone and single would have looked poorly on me to begin with. You are the one who was whining so much about the idea of me living alone that I just decided to stay with you so you would shut up about it. Don't go acting like I ever intended to live in this house ever since I became an adult. It's all because of your whining that I'm still here.
Stop trying to act tough around me, Alice. It's not going to work. Don't try to lie and say it was anything else other than you wanting to just live off us like a worthless parasite.
Oh sure. That's just the kind of thing I'd expect to hear from someone like you, someone who left me to do every last bit of housework like I was your maid. People like you often try to say something like that to your kids when they start speaking up against you. Well, whatever. Since you're moving out tomorrow, I'll finally get to say goodbye to all of your bull once and for all. Frankly, I'm relieved to hear that that's what you've decided to do. I suppose I'll just look forward to finally living how I want to.
Oh, and one last thing I need to tell you. You had better continue living in that house, got it?
Excuse me? I'd prefer to move as soon as I possibly can. I would be happy to not live one more second in this house. There's no reason for me to have to follow any such demand.
Don't think I'll let you get away with doing that. You do realize that that house is our family home, right? I would never forgive you if you just selfishly abandoned our family's property.
Are you crazy? Are you even listening to what you're saying? If you care so much about this house, the two of you should be the ones to take care of it. Not me.
What? There's no way we would be able to do something like that. Just think for 1 second. Once we move, your father and I are going to be so busy helping Maya every day. You do realize Maya is working too, right? Since she's working, she's asked her father and me to deal with all of the housework. It's ridiculous to think that we would be able to take care of our old house when we'll be so busy already in Maya's. That only leaves you. Everything will turn out just fine if you just live in our old house and take care of it yourself.
What do you think I can handle all of this on my own? You're crazy. That's out of the question. How about we look at how you're only telling me this the day before you move out? You haven't discussed this with me at all. So I have no need to listen to you either.
How dare you? Are you forgetting who raised you? What makes you think you can act like this towards your mother? I just don't understand how you could have grown to be this ungrateful, insolent woman when Maya turned out perfectly. At the very least, if you had just gotten a job with $1,000 or something, then this would be a totally different story.
So now you're trying to insult me because of what kind of work I do. I'd appreciate it if you didn't badmouth every aspect of my life. I suppose I can't just cry about how it's so unfair that you only think about Maya. I'm far too old for something childish like that. I am already well aware that no matter what I say to you, you won't give me the time of day. You clearly gave up on me ages ago.
That's right. I guess I did raise you into someone who can at least understand some things. Then I'll be counting on you starting tomorrow. And you won't need anything to eat for dinner tonight. Your father and I are going to be eating out with Maya's family. So I won't be there to make anything for you.
Whatever. Enjoy your dinner out with the only family you actually care about. I don't exactly want to see your faces at all after today. So I'll be staying at a friend's place tonight.
Excuse me? What about helping us with our move? If you don't get everything packed up for us, it will cause trouble for everyone.
I figured you would say that. It's amazing just how unbelievably predictable you are. Why do you think I'm going to a friend's house in the first place? You're the ones who decided to plan all this behind my back in the first place? Why not take this as your first chance to get used to living life without relying on me? You'll be fine, I'm sure.
What? You had better stay right at home. I'm telling you that there will be serious trouble if you don't help us with preparing for the move. Alice. Living in a new house is just so nice. This is just the kind of life I would expect from having such a successful businessman as a son-in-law. I've never before experienced such an elegant, refined lifestyle.
Mom. Seriously? If you want to gush about how amazing your life is, you can just write it in a diary or perhaps talk to someone who actually cares. There's no need to keep messaging me about everything.
Living together with Maya's family must be the best thing.
Mom.
You disobedient little wretch. Since I first told you about our move, you haven't even shown your face to me. And you've just been out playing with your friends and acting all innocent. You're still keeping that promise you made to me, aren't you? There will be serious consequences if you aren't.
Promise?
Don't play dumb. I'm talking about you living at our old house and taking proper care of it. Have you been cleaning it daily? There will be serious trouble if you have been neglecting it.
I'm certainly living in the house right now. But apart from that, I don't see why you feel the need to be constantly telling me to do. It's nothing more than a nuisance.
I don't know why I'm even surprised that you continue to talk back like this to me anymore. When are you going to finally grow up and learn to accept some responsibility? It would be so much better if you could just learn even a little bit from Maya. She's a proper daughter who respects her parents and treats them properly.
What? You even care at this point? Instead of constantly worrying about a daughter like me who according to you can't amount to anything. Why aren't you just focusing on living happily ever after with your favorite daughter Maya? Isn't talking to me just putting a damper on your happy new life with the only daughter that matters to you?
I wouldn't put it like that. I'm not even close to worried about you. All your father and I are worried about is if our house is still in pristine condition. I'm only talking to you to make sure you're taking good care of it. This was originally something we were hoping to leave to some agency or another that could take care of it for us. But we figured it would be a waste of money when we have our parasitic daughter around. So we thought it would just be easiest to leave it to you. We've been doing you a favor by leaving you a place to live. So, it shouldn't be so strange for us to just ask you to take care of the place.
Sorry, Mom. I have no idea what you're talking about. You should just stop worrying about me and go enjoy your fun new life in your new house. I'm in the house, that's all that matters, right?
I suppose yes. I guess Maya and I just worry too much. No matter how anxious we get about what you could be neglecting. If we worry about it every day, it would just take years off of our lives.
Whatever, Mom. I don't see how continuing to make snide remarks at me is helping anything either. So I'm just going to go. Bye.
You are such a disgusting daughter. Whatever. Remember, you need to keep taking good care of the house. Alice. Where are you at? Text me right back.
What's wrong, Mom? It's 6 a.m. I'm even sleeping.
I tell you countless times that you had to take good care of the house.
Excuse me? I am taking good care of the house I'm living.
What? You're living in our house, aren't you? I'm getting complaints from everyone. The neighborhood has been complaining to us about a cat living at our house. That cat is pooping all over our garden. Our old neighbors have noticed the smelly scent and are complaining to us about it.
Huh? The cat? I have no idea, Mom. I don't own a cat. I don't know what they're complaining about. There's not a single cat in or around the house. And garden? There's no garden at my house. I'm living in an apartment, sorry.
What do you mean by that? An apartment? What are you talking about?
Don't you think it would be more helpful to go looking at your old house first? If there's all those complaints coming in from the neighbors, it might be better to go check the damage for yourself. It sounds to me like there might be some problems you're going to have to deal with.
What in the world happened here? The place looks utterly desolate. How could you let it fall into such disrepair? You said you were taking care of the house.
What? Didn't you hear me the first time? I am taking care of my house. Or rather my apartment. Oh right, there's one other thing I'm taking care of right now. You just happened to text me as I was finishing up some important work. I have been working to isolate every aspect of my life from all of you. So you can never interfere with my affairs again.
What are you talking about? This isn't something you just drop on someone out of nowhere.
What do you mean? Like how you and Dad did the same to me with your whole moving out. There shouldn't be any problem with me just telling you this now. It's not like I felt you needed to know anything about it. I'm just treating you the exact same way you treated me. You certainly didn't think it was important to let me know you were planning to move. And yet you still expected me to help you prepare everything. On top of that, you try to make me take care of the house you are leaving behind. What I'm doing should fall perfectly well within the bounds of what you seem to find as acceptable behavior.
What are you talking about? You're basically saying you're disowning us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Alice. Moving out and disowning your family are two completely different things. Moreover, where are you right now? The house is absolutely caked with dust. You aren't cleaning the house daily like you promised.
Mom, I never made a single promise to you about cleaning a house. I told you I was cleaning my house. My apartment is also my house, Mom. They are the same.
How could you do something like this to us?
Don't act like any of you ever even cared that much about me. As long as I can remember, you all have only seen me as your servant.
We never thought that.
Oh, really? How about we take a quick look back at what's gone? You started off by suddenly telling me, your daughter, that you were moving out of your house one day before you planned to move. You planned to move, you expected me to do most of the moving work for you. Then try to order me to take care of the house after you were gone. You weren't letting me live there as thanks for how much I helped you. You were making it sound like an obligation. You did everything you possibly could to try to force me to handle caring for the house you were essentially abandoning. Is that the kind of treatment you think a daughter deserves? Do you think they'd see the relationship as mother and daughter or master and servant?
What are you talking about? All of that was Maya's fault. I mean, just look at how differently the two of you were acting. Not only were you single, you were nothing but a parasite latching onto and living off of us instead of living out there on your own. Maya, on the other hand, married a rich husband and did what she can to let us live a happy life. It should be obvious, of course, we would pay more attention to Maya.
Is that because Maya married a rich man, it's her fault that you treated me like garbage? I'd say the fault pretty clearly lies with you. You didn't want to have to deal with managing a house or the difficulties that just come with living. So you made me do everything.
What makes you think you have the right to talk to me like that?
Honestly, Mom. Expecting someone else to keep a promise you made without even telling them? No one would do something like that. That house is not my house. I don't see why I even need to tell you this. But it's the obligation of the owner of the house to take care of it, isn't it? If you didn't want to shoulder the responsibility yourself, then maybe you should have thought a bit more about the person you wanted to leave it to. But I guess it's just too late to go taking back everything you did now. Good luck cleaning up the house.
Hold on, Alice. Come on. You could at least just help us with the house, couldn't you?
I would appreciate it if you didn't try to treat my family like your own personal workhorses. You all are nothing to me now. I don't consider any of you my family. Please do not contact me ever again. Bye. After that last conversation, I felt I owed them an explanation as to what my mess of a family had been doing. It took a while to explain to them all the horrible things my toxic family had done to me. But when I was finally done, my mother-in-law wept and embraced me. It made me happier than I could have ever imagined in a moment. Burying my face into her chest as she reassuringly patted my head from that point on. I never returned to that house full of memories of a horrible upbringing with terrible parents. I started living a happy new life together with my husband and his family. My only family.